What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I hope all is well with you. Listen, guys, I'm going to do this as a premiere, okay? Because I'm going to talk about 3 different stories talking about Black Panther here, because something weird has happened in the last couple of days. Apparently, we are supposed to be now acknowledging the death of T'Challa, Black Panther, the character. Like somebody somewhere has deemed April or May of this year, 2024, the official death of T'Challa, Black Panther, regardless of the fact that the fact that it was announced that T'Challa Black Panther was going to be killed in the MCU probably something like 4 years ago. Of course, this is, how Wakanda Forever was announced. When Chadwick Boseman passed away in 2020, Kevin Feige, Ryan Coogler, and Nate Moore made the announcement that they were not going to recast the role of T'Challa Black Panther, and they came up with a script where they were going to have the death of T'Challa Black Panther mock, not pay tribute to, not honor, but to mock, as in mimic, to imitate the death of the actor Chadwick Boseman. So somehow today, or late April, early May, is supposed to be when we're going to acknowledge the actual death of T'Challa Black Panther. This is weird as hell to me, guys, but I'm going to begin this by reading from fandomwire.com. And as I read, guys, I am going to be live in the chat beneath me. Isn't that right, future Mark with a C? Shout yourself out, sir. Good job, sir. And now we are going to go on and start reading about this, because I'm going to present a couple of questions to you guys. And I want you to think about this as we go along. Here's a couple of things, right? We like to say what if, right? Marvel has this series, What If, based on the comic of the same name. What if Chadwick Boseman were still alive today? Okay, we're going to think about that. What if Chadwick Boseman were still alive today? Would this still be an honor to him to associate him so closely with this fictional character, one of many that he has played over the years? What if he was still alive today? Okay, and the second question is it honoring him or is it typecasting him? Okay, so we're going to talk about this, guys, and I'm going to begin by getting into this fandomwire.com article, and we're going to spin off into a couple of other angles that I want to take here. Okay, so feel free to chime in the chat as we go along. Still hurts. Marvel fans get emotional on the day when Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther dies in the MCU. So this is supposed to be the day, right? Right now, this is supposed to have happened late April, early May 2024. Just happening now. That is weird as hell to me, bro. But it says here, following Chadwick Boseman's death in real life, it's rather hard to accept his death as Black Panther in the MCU timeline. Guys, you have never seen them approach another fictional character this way. This is highly insulting to Black people, because you know this is who it's geared towards. So it goes on to say, debuting in 2016 with Captain America Civil War, Chadwick Boseman became an integral part of the MCU as T'Challa, aka Black Panther. Thereafter, the actor reprised his iconic role in Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and even in Avengers Endgame. Later on, although Boseman was supposed to continue his role in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the actor unfortunately met with an untimely death due to cancer. Rest in peace to him. While Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa was initially supposed to continue his legacy in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, his demise following a battle with colon cancer made the director incorporate Boseman's death into the film. It made the director incorporate Boseman's death into the film. According to the MCU timeline, it was actually late April or early May of 2024 when King T'Challa passed away from a mysterious ailment in the movie. Late April or early May of 2024. In other words, it just happened, they want you to believe, even though the movie came out, a couple of years ago, right? Today, fans mourn the death of Black Panther. Now, Chadwick Boseman's appearance as King T'Challa, aka Black Panther, has undoubtedly been one of the best casting choices in the MCU. The actor's dedication and commitment towards stagecraft, not to forget his loyalty to his Marvel role, impressively turned him into a fan favorite character, which made it all the more difficult to accept the actor's lost battle with cancer. And yes, it was indeed tragic. Beginning his career with Marvel in 2016 and thereafter appearing in 4 MCU movies, only one being his solo movie, Chadwick Boseman left behind a massive legacy following his untimely demise in 2020. According to BBC, I think that's the channel, right? These days it means something else too, but we're talking about the media outlet. Boseman was suffering from colon cancer, which eventually led him to his deathbed. While his passing away made it difficult for fans to accept, it had to be dealt with by the MCU. Since Chadwick Boseman was supposed to reprise his role as Black Panther in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, director Ryan Coogler had made plans accordingly. However, after Boseman's death, it became rather difficult to follow the initial plans and storyline. After all, they had to make that money, baby! You know what I mean? We can't let, one monkey ain't gonna spoil the whole show, right? Bad choice of words, but I think that's kind of what they were thinking, right? Listen, we got to keep a schedule right here. We got money to make, so it's not like we can just let it go for a little while. Consider exactly what we have to do here. Should we recast? Should we reboot? No, let's just dive right in. Let's get that money. Let's get that Disney MCU money. So, according to EU, Coogler decided to radically change the future of the franchise by incorporating the actor's death into the movie. Now keep in mind, guys, if you have a loved one out there who is an actor and you lose that loved one tragically, untimely, would you want a role that they played to forever be put out there where you have to relive this loved one's death over and over and over again? Did anybody even think about that? I know personally I've lost loved ones and I would never want to see something like that. I would want their work to continue to honor them, to reflect them in their commitment to that role, to the character that they brought to life, but I would want that character that they brought to life to continue to be brought to life. That's just me. Ryan Coogler rewrote the script where he showed the heartbreaking demise of Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther following a mysterious illness, only to ease out the character without changing the cast. Okay, well, there might be something right there. What do you guys think? Do you think that what he was doing was trying to protect everybody's job there? He wanted to do this without changing the cast. So, in other words, if they had to reboot, they might have to restart with everything. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he wanted to protect Angela Bassett and Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke and the girl who played Shuri, whatever her name was or is. He then shifted the spotlight on T'Challa's sister Shuri to carry on the legacy of Wakanda. According to Guritique's assumption, the actor apparently died in late April or early May of 2024 as per the MCU timeline. I just don't get that part of it, guys. Does anybody have any idea why they would have decided to make his death now? Why set it to be now in 2024 when we saw the movie something like 2 years ago? I don't get that. And it says here, considering the assumptions made by Marvel fans and outlets, since Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther passed away in late April or early May of 2024, netizens gather to mourn his loss. Where are they gathering to mourn his loss? Where am I seeing this? Are we seeing this on college campuses? I don't think so. We're seeing something else out there these days. But where are they gathering to mourn T'Challa Black Panther out there? Did I miss this? Where is this? They're acting like there were candlelight vigils being held all around the country or around the world. So it says here, bidding farewell to Boseman was already difficult when Marvel further aggravated it to a point where fans had to experience the emotional weight of his beloved character's death in MCU's Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Aggravated it. That's an interesting word they're using. They aggravated it. Personally, I would have used exploited it. But moving on, they show a couple of tweets here that people are talking about how it still hurts. And this is the day, rest in peace, today in the MCU timeline, King T'Challa passes away. This is weird to me, guys. I just don't get why now, but you know, all of these people are acting like they're so heartbroken about this. Fans took to social media to share their emotional reactions over Black Panther's death in early May, as per the MCU timeline. Did you guys know about that? Like, all the Black Panther fans out there, did you know that officially T'Challa Black Panther just passed away in the MCU timeline? I must have missed that. Expressing gratitude for Chadwick Boseman's contribution to the Marvel films and the impact his character had on their lives, fans celebrated the actor while simultaneously mourning the loss. Grieving fans thus became a testament to the legacy of Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa, which will forever be etched in the hearts of a millions. And of course, this is true. All right, nobody is going to forget that Chadwick Boseman brought Black Panther to life on the big screen. The way that we will never forget George Reeves, the way we'll never forget Christopher Reeve, the way we'll never forget Adam West, the way that we will never forget, what's his name? Also, Michael Keaton. But those characters continued on. You know what I mean? And that's the part that really confuses me, guys. That's the part that I really don't understand. Okay, so everybody wants to talk about honoring Chadwick Boseman, okay? So let me just bring something up right here. Let's see if I can get this real quick. Okay, where is it? Okay, there it is. Okay. Let's get into this aspect of it because everybody wants to talk about honoring Chadwick Boseman, okay? And for these people, I want to ask you this. If you really are concerned with honoring Chadwick Boseman, I would ask, where were you this past March? Because they say that officially in the MCU timeline that Chadwick Boseman passed away in April or May, right? So this past March would have been colorectal awareness month, okay? And we have a story here on Fox 5 DC. Chadwick Boseman's wife marks colorectal awareness month in DC, calling for action. All right, this is incredible. Chadwick Boseman's wife is talking about this, and I don't see anybody else talking about that, so I want to give a little bit of a extra voice to her. Washington. In 2020, the death of Howard University grad and actor Chadwick Boseman shocked the world. The actor, most known for his role in the 2018 Marvel series movie Black Panther, died of colorectal cancer. Now, on the National Mall is a humbling display meant to bring awareness to the specific type of cancer that's become one of the top 5 killers in men and women. However, it's not as regularly talked about, and as much information is not known. And Chadwick Boseman's widow, his wife, goes on to say, "It makes me angry that a disease so treatable took him from me when all we needed to start out with was knowledge. It makes me angry that colorectal cancer diagnosis had been rising so dramatically in young people, in young black people in particular, for 15 years before he was diagnosed. And we knew nothing about it. We still knew nothing about it. It makes me angry that we don't talk. And it makes me angry that we still have no idea why it is happening," said Simone Ledward Boseman. Boseman shared that her husband was diagnosed at 39 years old. He worked throughout his battle and died at just 43 years old. Okay, so he was diagnosed at 39 and he died at 43. Okay, so what's that, like 4 years that he knew about this, before he passed away, and he worked through all of that. I would think, guys, that for all of you people who are talking about how to honor Chadwick Boseman, that this would have creeped into the conversation somewhere, but I guess people are not really that interested, as they say they are, in honoring him, his actual life, not his professional life. And here's where we get into the part of the conversation where I talk about typecasting versus honoring, okay? Now I want to begin with a definition of typecast, okay? This is a verb to assign an actor or actress repeatedly to the same type of role as a result of the appropriateness of their appearance or previous success in such roles. Okay, so the appropriateness of their appearance or previous success. So you typecast them right? Only Chadwick Boseman. He was born for this role. Chadwick Boseman is T'Challa Black Panther. I've heard it over and over and over again. So we honor him by killing the character because nobody else could play this character, okay? It goes on to say, to represent or regard as a stereotype. So to typecast is a form of stereotyping. Now, a lot of us think that stereotyping is just something that you do negatively, but it turns out that you can stereotype somebody in a way that you believe or that you see is positive. You know what I mean? Like you actually like this person, but you're still stereotyping them. You're keeping them to that role, even though Chadwick Boseman had a very rich resume of characters that he played. A lot of them were real life personalities. You had 42 based on Jackie Robinson. You had Thurgood that was based on Thurgood Marshall. Get On Up that was based on James Brown. And then you had the fictional stuff like in The Five Bloods, you know, in the other movies that he did, Ma Rainey's Big Black Bottom, I think it was, and a couple of other films that he did. But no, you want to honor the actor by keeping him in one role. Now, we asked the question, guys. Well, I mean, first of all, what do you think about all of this that I've been talking about, you know, since we've been going on? Guys, I definitely welcome the participation in the chat. Like I said, I am live in the chat, so I can respond to you in real time. Isn't that right? Present Mark with a C. Good boy. So anyway, going on, okay. The question now becomes, is it typecasting or is it honoring? And to dive into this aspect of the conversation, right? I want to get into an actor that I guess we all know, right? He's world famous. I will ask you, when I say the name of this actor, you tell me the name of the character that he is most associated with. That actor's name is Leonard Nimoy. Okay? Let's see it in the chat. Okay? When I say Leonard Nimoy, what is the first character's name that pops into your mind? Let's see. This is not live, but I'm going to give you some time to come up with it. I'm looking at you in the chat. That's right. That's right. Spock. Mr. Spock. Leonard Nimoy played Mr. Spock for the better part of 50 years. 50 years, okay? Chadwick Boseman was 43 when he passed away. Leonard Nimoy played this one character for more than Chadwick Boseman's entire life. So you would think that Leonard Nimoy would have known something about being typecast, right? He was typecast so much, in fact, that in 1975, he had to write a book called I Am Not Spock, which didn't go over very well with Star Trek fans. But he wrote it because he was in part frustrated by the fact that he was so closely associated with this character, typecast, stereotyped, that the audience really didn't give him the chance to grow as an actor. Or so he felt. He was constricted, constrained, limited. And he talked about that, right? So here's Leonard Nimoy as Mr. Spock, being so closely associated with this character. He embodied the character, right? And you have Chadwick Boseman, who did all of these other roles, right? Like he's associated with, I think, more feature film roles than Mr. Spock and Leonard Nimoy, I should say. See how you get them all mixed up? But Leonard Nimoy, he played this character for 50 years, okay? And the funny thing about that is that Mr. Spock, the character, was recast by at least 3 that I can think of, okay? Probably more than that, because there was the young man who played him in Star Trek 3. I believe someone played him as a child, all right? Then you had Zachary Quinto play him in the reboot of the Star Trek movies. And you also had Ethan Peck, who's playing him in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, okay? And at least in the reboot of Star Trek, you had Leonard Nimoy actually playing off of the new character, Zachary Quinto, who was playing him as well. So he got a chance to pass on his blessing, right? So the what if here, as far as how this relates to Chadwick Boseman, people say it's an honor to him to have the character die and have nobody else do this. Leonard Nimoy got to see his beloved character that he brought to life loved the whole world over, he got to see that character continue. Do you think that was an insult to Leonard Nimoy that his character continued? If it was, why would he play against the same character? Why would he play opposite Zachary Quinto? But he did, and he loved it. And Zachary Quinto loved the fact that he was gifted this role from Leonard Nimoy himself. This was the honor of it all. You know what I mean? So when I look at that, is Chadwick Boseman more associated with T'Challa Black Panther as Leonard Nimoy is associated with Mr. Spock? He played him for 50 years. He played him for a whole TV series, 6 feature films, not to mention the walk-ons that he did on the TV series, and also the guest starring role that he had in the reboot movies and the voice work that he did in the cartoons. Over a span of 50 years, Chadwick Boseman, not to belittle him, Chadwick Boseman played Black Panther in 1 solo movie, okay? And also 3 other MCU movies, and of course the What If series he did, maybe about 2 or 3 episodes, okay? Over the course of, what, like 4 or 5 years? So, I asked that question. Is Chadwick owning his role more than Leonard Nimoy owned his role as Spock? The answer is no. And if that's the case, how do we see it in our minds that it's honoring Chadwick Boseman by keeping him here and associating him with this role where nobody else can play it? You have to retire the role now, and that's it. Now we have a day of mourning where we all gather together and mourn the death of T'Challa Black Panther. When, by comparison, and Leonard Nimoy is not the only one, you have other actors as well that were closely associated. I mean, on Star Trek alone, they rebooted or recast everybody. We got a new Captain Kirk. We got a new Scotty. We got a new Uhura. All of them. And they're all iconic characters. This is something that we all knew back in the day, you know, but for some reason, now we allow the MCU, Marvel, Kevin Feige, Ryan Coogler, Nate Moore, we allow all of these people to say that this is an appropriate thing to do. Guys, I'm sorry, but to mark this somber occasion, I have to cry bullshit, okay? So you guys who are in the chat, hopefully you've been having your say if you've been following all of this. This is insane. You know, we have to wake up out of this. Right now, Winston Duke is campaigning to be Batman, right? But, which is ridiculous. Winston Duke, by the way, check out Icon, you know, the Milestone character. Check out Hardware. Hell, check out Isom. You know, there are so many other black characters that you could be true to without trying to hijack a character like this. And you think being associated with Black Panther, you would understand the integrity and the credibility and the honor, while we're using that word, the honor of playing a character that truly reflects the culture that it's supposed to come from. That's ridiculous. But Winston Duke also said that he believes there will be a Black Panther 3. He hasn't been told anything. It's just his opinion. He believes that it would be inappropriate to not complete the Black Panther saga. His words, saga. Well, Winston, what is a saga? Is what I'm asking. Guys, what do you think about that? Where would they go with the Black Panther 3? And don't tell me about T'Challa Jr., the bastard son of T'Challa, who grew up without his father, who grew up outside of Wakanda. Oh, he brought him to Haiti to keep him safe. Bruh, have you seen the condition of Haiti lately? Woo! I don't think so. It's not exactly on my, my list of places that I'm going to hit up for vacation this year. Oh, you know, shout out to Haitians everywhere. I'm just saying, okay? But no, T'Challa Jr. does not cut it, guys. But this is where we are. You know, Winston Duke talking about there's going to be Black Panther 3. In his opinion, no announcements have been made, which means that there's no filming that's being done, which means that it's not on the docket, which means that it'll be a very long time before we see a so-called continuation of the Black Panther saga without King T'Challa, which is ridiculous. If you ask me, hashtag recast T'Challa should be hashtag reboot T'Challa, Black Panther. Reboot the whole damn thing. That's what they probably should have done from the very beginning if they weren't going to be true to the character. But they painted it into this terrible corner right now. They done killed T'Challa. They killed the mother for some reason. Angela Bassett did not agree with that. She, that's not something that she had a problem with. They killed the mother. They painted themselves into a corner. So to me, there's nothing left to do but to reboot the whole damn thing. But that's my opinion, guys. What do you think down there in the chat? It's not enough. Of course, you got to recast, but I think they should just reboot the whole thing. But guys, those are my thoughts on this so-called time of remembrance of the life of T'Challa, Black Panther. What do you guys think, man? What are you thinking about all of this? I think they just made a great big old damn mess of it all, and yes, they should just reboot. But that's just my opinion, guys. And that's how I'm feeling when I saw this whole thing going on, so-called this remembrance, and how people are gathering all over the place to remember and all that stuff. Nah, bro, it's just not it. But guys, you can get in the comment section. For those of you who hung out during the actual premiere of this, I thank you. I got much love for you guys. For everybody who's watching it on the replay a little bit later, thank you guys for tuning in. And guys, I will catch you on the next one. Thanks again to everybody. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on. And let me know if I should do this more often. Thanks. Bye.